Entry number 9, June 1st, 2017. I woke up this morning at about 8:30 to 9 o'clock. I don't know exactly why, but I don't think I got downstairs to the lobby until around noon. I know that recording journal number 8 took some time, especially as I had to do it about 2.5 times due to various screw-ups on my part. When I got to the lobby, I checked my mail on a lark. My ID was supposed to show up in the mail late this week, and a letter from the Obama phone people was supposed to show up at some point. I figured Wednesday was minimally late this week. I didn't know today was Thursday until just now. Both showed up. Great to get my ID. I don't think I've had true ID in more than a decade. The letter from the Obama people was a rejection letter. I won't bore you with the details unless requested. They gave me 3 reasons. I proceeded to STP to see if Scott was there to make an appointment to get some more albums on my Nano. If I haven't told you, Scott used to live at STP like me, but now lives someplace else. It seems he spends most of his time at STP, though. We set an appointment for Monday at 2 o'clock. He said he'd try something different this time. Good, because the same procedure has been proven ineffective, which I told him. He is a musician who plays guitar and drums. He told me he had a show tonight and asked me to come. I said, paraphrase, what, as Scott's +1? I have no money. He said, paraphrase, yeah, I might be able to get you in for free, and then told me he'd email me at about 5:30. I told him I might not make it. There was more said in the conversation, but I think I've included the important bits. My next destination was the library to do some uploading and chatting with friends via World Wide Web. On the way there, I saw a fire truck that wasn't going by too fast for me to get a video of it. So I shot video as I approached it. It turned out to be there to aid a black man. This was really an ambulance call, but the trucks often show up. This time they showed up before the ambulance. I think the ambulance showed up just as I was getting close enough to show what was happening. It's hard to say what happened, but it looked to me like he'd injured his foot. The ambulance took him away on a stretcher. My time at the library was pretty uneventful. I accomplished all my uploading. I went to the nearby Peterson's convenience store and bought 2 Cokes, on sale if you bought 2, and a barbecue rib burger thing. I microwaved and ate the barbecue thing and put the Cokes in my satchel. I went back outside the library hoping to think of something else to do on the World Wide Web. I had already subscribed to a bunch of YouTube channels and was out of things to do, especially with my phone being almost out of its own memory. I have plenty on my SD card, but that's still a problem. I was down to 1 smoke, so I headed down Southwest 10th towards the Safeway. I stayed on 10th because I had to take a pee and didn't want to go back into the library just to take a pee. When I got to the bathroom at the Safeway, it turned out you have to have a receipt to get the restroom code, so I bought a 2-liter cola for 89 cents and showed the receipt at the customer service desk. They gave me the code. I tried it twice, but it didn't work. Rather than ask the guy behind the counter at the customer service desk again, I left the store and went pee in the bushes at the Christian Science building across the street. Oh well, Safeway got me to buy a cheap cola instead of paying about $3.50 at the convenience store below the Estate Hotel. I went to the Christian Science parking lot and drank my second Coke. By this time, it was getting to be about 5 o'clock to 5:30, and the library would be closing soon. Oh well, I'd accomplished all I could. Oh well, I'd accomplished all I could think of anyway. I went to 10th and Cooch on the Portland streetcar and walked home on Cooch. The estate is on 3rd and Cooch. I stayed and played NetHack, I think, until about 7, then got to thinking about Scott's invitation. I decided it was worth my while to give it a try. I set out for the Starbucks at Pioneer Square to steal Wi-Fi to see if Scott had sent that email, and maybe use Google Maps to find the Paris theater where Scott was playing. Scott had not sent that email. Google showed Paris Theater as basically on the corner of Southwest 3rd and Burnside. That's basically less than a block from where I live. I think I arrived at about 7:45. His show was at 8 o'clock. I was surprised to find Scott right outside having a smoke. He asked me what was up. I said, well, I made it. He informed me you have to pay to get in. I said, oh well, or some such. I asked Scott for a smoke, as I had just discovered mine weren't in my pocket. I told Scott, I think I left them at home. I hope I left them at home, because otherwise they're lost. Fearing I might have left them at Starbucks. I hurried home with that fear, but when I got to my room, my smokes were on the table. I played a little NetHack, relaxed, and started this entry. I got home at about 8 o'clock. It is now almost 11:30 p.m.